Welcome, and I'm so happy that you'll be able to join us today in a very basic rolling of the joints, mobility, and flexibility exercises that Satish has created just from things that he has done and we have done through the years. And it's something that everybody can do. And you'll see as you work with him that you can just flow along with him. And throughout this series that he's created, he will keep showing you his wristband where he's marking and registering his heart rate. So all of these exercises together, when he puts some deep breath with it and also is just continually moving, he starts to also lift his heart rate, which becomes aerobic for him as well. But they're all very easy. Everyone can do them. So find a place to stand where you can join us and you have some nice mobility to move your arms freely, and come join the fun. So simple arm swings, and I'd like you to focus in on Satish's deep breaths. As he moves his arms, he's breathing deeply, and this is creating a nice aerobic exercise for his lungs and for his heart. Just moving his arms and shoulders in all different directions. Notice as he reaches up, the mobility, the momentum of this movement creates more mobility through his arms. His left arm in particular is more limited, but as he gains momentum, he's able to really lift. And one exercise and movement flows into the next, which creates a constant movement, aerobic type exercise. These are good for the shoulder joints, the synovial fluid, opening up spine and opening up chest. Now he is doing just a gentle swing. And doing this gentle swing starts to really open his spine. And you can try this a couple of ways. You can do the arm swing with your head looking straight, and it will open up muscles in one way, or you can turn and look behind you, and it opens up in a different way. So in order for Satish to stabilize himself through these one-arm swings, he uses his core, engages his core. Now he's opening up back body, squeezing the tush and squeezing his shoulder blades. Belly tight to lift those arms. Nice arm rotations and circles here to help with the mobility. So when you're putting on shirts, you're putting on jackets, you're able to get these arms and shoulders around. And now he's checking that amount of exercise that he's done has already boosted his heart rate up to 122. He's burning calories, he's increasing the heart rate. And it's fun for you to know and recognize there is no routine here that Satish is doing. He's just being inspired by things he has done through the years, and his body is basically just telling him, okay, well, I'll sit down and we'll do these now. I'll move my knees. There's nothing hard about anything. It's just keep it going. And if you need to stop at any point in time, you'll stop You can have lunch, you can do something else, and you can come back to it. So he's getting himself comfortable here to come into a side stretch, and he's just sliding. If you're on a counter, you can stand. You don't have to sit. You can slide down the counter and come back up, but always engaging your core. Doing some nice side stretches. You could do this seated on a chair. You could do this seated on the floor. More spinal twists, and if you're doing this seated, really engage the core of your stomach. Really pull it tight, make a tight fist, and then swing. You'll work the core as well. Nice deep breaths with each twist, in and out. And just this simple movement starts to lift the heart rate up. He's at 122. He has burnt already 78 calories. Doing a little bit of shoulder stretch. You can do push-ups here. He's just stretching out his shoulders. This is a great one for us to do every day. Is he's just working on his posture and pulling it back. In doing so, you're also strengthening up all of those back muscles and some of your core. His heels are against the back wall, his tush is against the back wall, his back shoulder blades in his head. And now he's taking his hands and he's pressing them into the wall. That's going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. It's also going to take the stomach muscles, the belly muscles, and create a tension and a contraction in that. We're basically trying to remind ourselves where our plumb line, that straight line from the crown of our head all the way down through the tail and our feet, how it needs to be in alignment. Because we're all out of alignment, we can try to bring ourselves back. So now Satish is going to work more of the lower body and just get some marching in, moving the hips, moving those knees. I like to call it rolling the joints because you're actually moving the joints. So that when we move our joints, the synovial fluid moves, it keeps everything lubricated, it keeps everything going. It's such a healthy thing to do. And he's also creating energy that he's expending and raising his heart rate and creating more exercise in his lungs as well. I like the way Satish is adding his arm movement in. It's creating a rhythm and a cadence for him and gives him a little bit more energy that he's expending. Now he's lifted his heart rate to 125. This nice back and forth movement. Stabilize your core, really make that stomach feel strong, and you can ground through the standing leg and swing that leg, open that hip. Activate the glutes and the quadriceps. I like how Satish is trying to keep himself in the upright while that leg swings. holding on and moving his leg back and forth. This also creates some muscle building as well as the cardio. A side lift back and forth. He needs to engage his core to do this as well, so make sure if you're doing it and holding on that your stomach is really tight so that you can make that lift with your leg. Oh, I love this one. This is like a sun salutation, opening up to the sun, opening the whole lungs and the heart, stretching through the back, stretching through the front body, taking nice deep breaths on the inhale, exhaling down. When you're coming into these back bend openings, make sure that you're tucking your tail and squeezing your glutes, your tush, as you come and open up, protecting low back. Now Satish is inspired to do some more moving, but he's also adding in some strength. So he put the ropes here, these band ropes that have some tension. He's creating some tension and resistance. And he's able to just do this pull movement. His core needs to be engaged. His back muscles are working. His side abdominals are being stretched and moved. His arms are working, creating muscle. And always staying with the breath. Inhale, exhale with each pump of the arm. So if someone doesn't have bars like this, you can take a set of these pulley stretch bands and you can stick it under the leg of a table, let's say. Sit on the floor, and the table leg will be enough strength to hold your pulley, and you can go back and forth, hold that rope. His heart rate's up to 124. He's working these back lat muscles and these whole back shoulder muscles. So you can see that Satish is just using what equipment he has at home, what he sees around him, to create the next exercise of just movement. So he's working his biceps here, he's working chest muscles here. Notice how he stays stable by really strengthening through his stomach muscles and making those secure so he can stand straight. And any of these exercises can be stopped. You can just press pause, you can press hold. You can go off and do whatever it is that you need, and you can always come back and just keep adding on through the day, just continuing where you left off. Because in the end, you will have a full 45 minutes of opening, flexibility, strengthening, and aerobic. And then not everybody has these pulleys, but if you have shoulder mobility issues or any type issue where you just don't have the muscular strength to take an arm up, these pulleys, these rope pulleys are very, very good. They're very inexpensive and you can get them on Amazon. You just put the screw into this joint, into a 2x4 in the ceiling, a stud, and then the rope helps you lift your arms up and back. Strong arm works fine. The weak arm gets some really nice movement. He's just creating range of motion for himself in his both shoulders, but in particular his left shoulder. Now he's coming into more of a cool down. He'll use his bar. You can use the countertop to do this, where you just step away. And press down through the heart to stretch the spine. You're also stretching the back hips and the back legs. You can do this just by planting your hands down on the counter and just shooting your hips back. Your feet are underneath your hips. Feel your tailbone pressing to the back wall. Stepping forward to stretch the front, left psoas, hip flexor area. Just opening up that front body. And here's the other thing, there is no real wrong way. Just move so that things feel like they're lengthening and stretching, but it feels good. It's not pressing to a point where it feels harmful or too much. You're just really opening up into that state of, oh my goodness, this feels really good. He's stretching through his hamstring now, with that back leg. You can also do that by coming down onto the seat of a chair, just sort of reaching down towards the seat, and then you step things back and you'll get a similar stretch. You can see he's cooled down a little bit. His heart rate's at 117 instead of 122. But he's already been working for 25 minutes and has already burned 209 calories. Now some lateral movement. He's working nice and slow. His core is engaged, his stomach muscles are engaged so that he can stand straight. So he's just doing some nice, gentle side stretches here. Would be like half moon in yoga. He's very tight through the core so that he can make this movement, stretching the whole side body. He's trying to do a toe touch or reach towards that floor. Counter posing with now taking the back bend flexion and opening up the back the other way. You come forward, you always find neutral. And you see his heart rate's cooling down through these, but he continues to burn calories and he's already at 36 minutes of work movement. And with Satish's IBM, he has some weakness through his legs and some stability issues, but I love the way he has created working with the bars and taking it very slow to try to come into a side angle pose, a yoga pose. He's holding onto a bar. You can hold onto a counter, the island counter or your bathroom counter. Make any adaptations and adjustments that you need, and you look around your own home and your surroundings and you find out where you can work similarly. That's what he's done. He just keeps redeveloping his workspace to meet his current needs. But he keeps on moving. And when Satish shared this with me, I like to call it inspired movements by Satish, because you notice he never stops. He just keeps getting inspired. His body is telling him, what can I do next? I will do this next. I will do this next. And he follows the inspiration that his body is sharing with him, and he just moves. There is no right or wrong. Just move the way your body says. I think we should do this. I think we can do that. And now he's just doing a loosey-goosey stretch, getting any tensions shaked out of his body, out of his spine. His body's telling him what it needs and what it wants. Listen to your body. It will tell you. If it feels a little tight, a little sore, you do some sort of action that releases that. Your body knows. Now, here's his stats. 44 minutes of work, 250 active calories, but a total of 331 calories burned. That's fabulous. And he got his heart rate up, and he rolled all of his joints, and he lengthened and he strengthened, and he breathed. So he was working the entire body. Now comes the cherry on the cake. He's worked everything. He was using the mind, body, divine connection to create each movement that he was doing. And now Satish sits down and he listens to one of our favorite songs, because the vibration of the music moves through him, and he just breathes very consciously with his eyes closed. He moves inward and he breathes, and he creates in his mind, he told me, this sense of healing. He's already moved his energy from head to toe. He's worked the muscles, worked the lungs, worked the heart, and now he has time to just integrate all of that. So you can sit in a comfortable place too. You can just listen to the music and close your eyes and create the same healing opportunity for yourself. It's just a meditative posture. Do this type of movement, inspired movement, 3 times a week, even if it's for 10 minutes, if it's for a half hour, whatever it is, if it's periodically through the day, and you will see how much you gain from it in so many ways. Thank you, Satish.
So